Oh, look, it's the Genius Party.
What up, world? What up, geniuses? It's your man, Ampersand, and I am joined by my co-host,
Alt Willie, the one to get you moving and grooving. You know what it is.
and we are the Genius Party, and this is the Genius Party podcast. So basically, this podcast, you know what I'm saying, is really just us having personal, in-depth conversations with artists to make sure that, you know, we get an understanding of who they are, what they are about, and, you know, how they approach music and how they relate to it. Because, you know, some people don't do it like that. You'll get a lot of music business stuff, you know, stories here and there, even reviews and stuff like that. But we trying to give you something different, something fresh, you know what I'm saying? And who do we have on today, bro? Like, who do we have on? Who's our first guest?
Yo, we got none other than the trailblazers themselves, the cultural tastemakers.
Oh, shit.
The members of the Genius Party. You know what it
Squad,
is.
you feel me?
Squad. Hey.
Squad up.
Yeah, so to my left, introduce
look,
yourself.
It's the Genius Party.
What's good, everybody? My name is Billy Vaughn. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. Genius Party representative / co-founder, 6-time beat battle champion. So yeah, I do this a little bit. Been on the music scene for roughly 20 years. So what's good, y'all?
Yes, sir. And then we got my mans. Go ahead.
Yo, what's good? Support Strizzy, straight out of Raleigh, Garner, North Carolina. GS Party representative, co-founder. You know, let's get it.
Yeah.
All right, and I go by Ace Dizzy Flow, residing in Raleigh, North Carolina. Producer, cookout DJ, co-founder of the Genius Party. And let's get it.
Nah, I like that cookout DJ. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. You know, I'm aspiring to be that one day.
You know,
I'll get the line dance going while they get the crispiness on the hot dogs.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
you gotta have it. You gotta have it.
yeah.
So, has anybody done anything interesting over the past 2 weeks? You know what I'm saying?
Man, you know, like I know, man, we've done a lot of things interesting.
Oh, talk about it, bro. Talk about it.
Where you want to start? So, you know, of course, we had the last Genius Party, and then we had the North Carolina State Fair.
Yeah,
you know. Shout out to Deep South, you know what I'm saying, for having us.
Shout out Deep South.
For sure. You know, we had our open ox the very next day at Waken Bakery. Shout out to Waken Bakery.
Yes, sir.
Always showing love.
Always
Happy
showing
birthday,
love.
2 years.
You know,
Yeah.
dropping the genius in the juice. You know, I had to give me a bottle or two of that.
And to the new listeners, so every month Genius Party puts on a showcase, if you will, where we're curating a dope culture experience where we have different producers coming in around the country and even local, as well as artists, you know, all making sure that you have a good time and that we really showcasing the deep talent pool here. So usually once a month, you want to make sure you're checking out Instagram, the Genius Party NC, and you want to stay tuned in for the upcoming Genius Parties as well as other events as well.
Also, feel free to go to thegeniuspartync.com. You know, we got a lot of good stuff over there. You want to see like some YouTube stuff, you can get that over there. You want to see some behind the scenes BTS, like photography and stuff like that, you're going to get that there too. You're going to get like
Merch.
merch. Yes, merch.
Photos,
Shameless
recaps.
plug, y'all. Shameless
Also,
plug.
follow us on Twitter at The Genius Party. And also, you can find us on YouTube at The Genius Party NC. So check us out too.
Also,
One more thing. Shout out to Wednesday, because we on our podcast this
out.
past Wednesday.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, man,
At the old, you know what I mean?
93.5.
yeah, Oak 93. Fresh producers out there to play some beats.
All right.
So big shout out.
So what was the highlight of all that for y'all though? Like, what was your favorite moment?
Honestly,
Out of this
showcasing what we do.
Nah, for sure. Playing beats out there. That
Playing
was
beats,
real
man.
dope.
That's one of the highlights for me.
Okay.
You know, and plus, you know, just talking, you know. Love talking with y'all. So
Nah, most definitely. It's always a good time. How about you, bro? How about you all?
And in terms of like highlights recently?
Yeah. Like what's the thing that you've been, you know, excited about?
I think I've been excited about continuing to push my project that I dropped, New Disco, streaming now. Coming up with merch for it. That's a brand new field for me there, and really just trying to dig a little bit deeper into the subgenres that are happening, just so I can, you know, expand the sounds or my repertoire of sounds and all that. So it's been cool just coming around people coming across people who are all in these different subgenres and all these different paths. So that's been something that's been cool for me lately.
Okay, all right. And you did get to play some jams off New Disco at the State Fair. So yeah, that was dope. I enjoyed that. I think we all did.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So all right, let's get into the the podcast. Where we get to meet the people that we with. So I just got a few questions for y'all, and it's gonna be a conversation. You know what I'm saying? We're just having fun. So what was y'all upbringing like? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was home life like for y'all? How did music play a part in your life?
I know for me, growing up, my mom always played different genres of music. So I got the country, I got the R&B, I got the hip hop. But mostly from my aunt, I got the hip hop. It was the Tupac, the Domino, a lot of West Coast. Big L was my first single that I actually had. And so yeah, it started with home and everything like that for me.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, definitely at the crib, man. A lot of R&B, some gospel as well. I stay with my aunt. My aunt is a singer, so I grew up around singing around like breakfast, waking up, driving around. My uncle, he had he used to just play these albums back to back. It's just like Dr. Dre, The Chronic, Criminal Minds, like with KRS, NWA, Machiavelli, stuff like that. A lot of West Coast stuff, man. But that definitely helped shape me. And then and shout out to my cousins, man. They ones that put me on the like Jay-Z, DMX, things of that nature, man. And that's what rounded me around music.
All right, shout out to the fam.
Shout out to the fam. As far as me, I have an older brother that's 10 years older than me. So I just turned 38. He just turned 48 in August. So in the early 90s, I recall riding with him, being hella scared in the back seat because he used to be driving crazy. But during those times, he was blasting albums like Nori and Capone,
CNN.
What?
World Report.
Yeah. Old Tupac, I recall early 90s hip hop at its peak, at its finest, in my brother's car. So I feel like that's where I really learned to love hip hop. My mom, she loved Anita Baker, some of the old folks, Gladys Knight and the Pips. She had a whole lot of records. So during Sundays, she played a whole lot of music, and I just rocked with her. We danced, and that's where I got my love of music.
Okay, that's what's up. How about you?
So this is all Willie. My upbringing, there was an interesting watershed moment. So maybe up until like age 7, before my parents became ministers, there was a wide variety of sounds. My uncle was a DJ, one of the first DJs out of that Edenton, North Carolina area. He was the first to always have like the speakers in the back of his car in like the 70s, 80s. He always used to say, I was the first one to put the 16
cool
in the back.
Cool herd.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Mixmaster Blue. That was his DJ name.
That's hard.
And my dad and his friends, all of them, were in band. So everybody wanted to be like their own version of like the Ohio Players and all this. So everybody played an instrument back then. Shout out to school funding for the arts back then. But just being around them all the time, listening to that music. My dad was an audiophile, so we had these tall stereo speakers, and as early as I remember just sitting in front of those speakers, listening to things like Slave, D-Train, Cameo, all those groups, a lot of funk. And then later on in life, when my parents became ministers, where it was like, we're gonna be in church a lot, so go ahead and get ready to light communion bread, because that's what it is right now. That's when I got my gospel influence there, and it was right around 96, 97 where I feel like there was like a really good golden era of gospel music. Like if you remember those CDs, like the Wow That's Gospel or Wow Gospel 98.
It's cooling water.
Yeah.
So all that kind of really helped round out my music taste.
Nah, that's a bet. That's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that, because music played a huge part in my life growing up. My father is a multi-instrumentalist. Like he plays multiple instruments, and he's also a band teacher. So he'll teach you how to play different instruments and read music and all that other stuff. So like I grew up wanting to like be just like my dad, you know, just like playing the keyboard or definitely playing the sax, because like that was like really cool to me at the time, because I was listening to like people like Coltrane, Charlie Parker, you know what I'm saying, just some of the greats and whatnot. And then I got into band, so I did start playing, you know, alto sax in 6th and 7th grade, and then I thought I was gonna be the next Jimi Hendrix. So like I was like, let me trade in my sax for the guitar, and then did not get that guitar until sophomore, junior year or whatever. And then I kind of got into making beats because of my old African American studies teacher, Nolan Hicks. Shout out to Mr. Hicks, man. He encouraged me to like really jump into rap, and he's the first one to put me on a Little Brother. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to LB, you know what I'm saying? Just wrapped up their tour, you know? But that's actually a good segue. So like, one, I also wanted to know, what country was your mama playing, bro? Like, who was you listening to at the time?
So it was a bunch of like Reba, Shania Twain.
Okay.
So she was more of on the women's side of things.
Like the stadium country stuff? Like, did she listen to Patsy Cline or like?
She had some Patsy in
Okay.
there. But then it graduated to like soft rock, to like Alanis Morissette, and you know, which is one of my favorites.
Okay. All right, that's a bet. So with that being said, I heard like church and just about a little bit of everybody's answer. How did the church, specifically the black church, if you was raised in it, like help you on your music journey and like influence it?
I think church was the third place, right? The third place is where people can go to organize, you know, get what they need, get healing. And I think that shaped a lot of things that I've tried to do in my music, where my whole goal is to make you feel better by the end of the song, right? And so when you think about how the church shaped it, I try to create that same experience where you're coming to this third place to me, which is music. That can be your third place, and how I can help you embark on your journey there. And I think learning how to utilize crowd control, speak in front of people, I think all those things are necessary and helped me, even though I didn't want to sing in the choir, but my mom was like, you're going to serve in this house of the Lord somehow. So somewhere out there's very embarrassing tapes of me with solos, trying to sing Wine and Spades 2 songs, and I hope they don't find those tapes nowhere.
Well, I mean, if they're on VHS, bro, like you might be in luck. They might be, you know, worn out, you know, like reels get dusty.
It's ways to bring that back, brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's restorations, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like,
Yeah,
film gets warped.
we'll see.
The tint heat.
Get that scrub from the internet, you know. But yeah, that definitely, you know, helped shape me, because you know, I got a chance to see how you can really evoke change in somebody just through sound.
Okay.
I know gospel for me, we did have gospel growing up. My family, my mother's side, they had a whole gospel group, and my cousin plays drums tremendously, you know, vocalist and everything. I had the opportunity to learn how to play the keyboard, but you know, me being a 14, 15-year-old, I'm not playing no keyboard, I'm playing some video games. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not doing all that, but gospel was a part of my upbringing as well.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. Gospel played a point. As far as like going to church, I sung in the choir. I ain't do no solos though, but you know what I'm saying? I got cousins that sing, you know, that, you know, have done solos. Shout out to Springfield Baptist Church, Auburn Nightdale Road, you know. But they even had like some albums back in the day. So like I got like some of the vinyl. It's like you see the cover, and like my grandma and my cousins, like they all in it on the cover too. So, you know, definitely, man, I'm trying to sample from that. But yeah, man, yeah, definitely. Church has definitely played a point. Order my steps, all of that, man. You know, man.
Dear Lord.
Yeah. Silver and gold. Come on now.
I'd rather have Jesus.
Silver and gold.
Yeah, talk about it.
And you know, God is good.
That's good.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
God is good.
Hey, you know it. What's up with you, Billy? How about you, man?
I ain't gonna lie to y'all brothers. I wasn't raised in the church. We was some ratchet tears. So with that being said,
Hey, you can still be ratchet.
Hey, you certainly can, bro.
but my mom believed in not going to church. She said, I ain't gonna tell you what my mom said up here. I might incriminate her. So, I didn't grow up with a whole lot of gospel music. My grandma didn't care about no gospel music. My grandma was more of a person where she would bust out the tambourines and just make her own little songs. Remember her just sitting in front of the door, just making a song about the mailman one time. I said, Grandma, are you freestyling? That's not even a... She was singing slavery songs at one, slavery hymns at one point in time.
Yeah, slavery.
Nice.
I know. That,
Some old Negro spirit.
Yeah, that's what you talk about, yeah.
But she was talking about the mailman. And I found out she had a crush on the mailman, but it's a whole nother story. But I did not grow up in the church. But I recall later on in my life, I have a foster family. When I started, I was around like junior year of high school. They were like, nah, you going to church with us. You going. Nigga, you going. If you get beat up, you going.
That's the black experience.
Nah,
yeah.
You going. You ready?
Even if you get beat up, whatever, you still going.
With a black eye.
Still going.
You gonna be out there praising the Lord with a black eye. It is what it is. Lord understand my heart. But that's when I started seeing drummers really in depth. Like I really started having true respect for the drummers. I saw how they got down. It was one guy in this church. He was killing it. I was just so engulfed in his, and he was just on it, yo. Just so on it. You got to be so coordinated to be a drummer. So I'm just looking at him, just like, I'm pretty sure I didn't catch the message from the pastor because I'm sitting there engulfed in the music. So that's kind of my experience, being in church a little bit.
That's a bet. I think that's kind of funny. Because my dad actually used to play in a gospel group as well. So when my mom, so my father used to play in a gospel group called IWT or whatever. They came out with a record. I'm currently working on trying to remix that now for my pops. But
Is he gonna clear it? You gonna clear the sample?
We'll sue you.
We're gonna sue you.
No. They not coming after me. There's no.
Talk about it.
That is not happening. I was just gonna do that on the humble for him. It started out as like a Father's Day project, but I ain't get it done in time. So I used to go to rehearsals with them and play the big block Game Boy with the green screen. When you was bored and stuff like that. Because you couldn't have that in church. It's just peppermints and Tic Tacs and stuff like that. You couldn't have no video games at the time. That was before cell phones and tablets. But yeah, so the church played a very significant role in my life, even to the point where when I was rapping, it dictated kind of what I rapped about because I started doing Christian rap at first. And then, Most and Quali changed my life. So I started getting into conscious spiritual miracle backpack rap, because I wanted to, the JanSport jams, you know what I'm saying? So did
you have the hat?
Oh, I had the Kango, I like the brown sugar edition. I had the Cube, I had the Mortal Technique Cuban joint. Early on during the Black Flower Shakedown Street.
Yes, he did. He used to kill that Kango
with the bubble vest, bro.
Yes,
he definitely did.
It was like a little tan when you had.
He did a whole video with it.
I sure did. Comatose.
Yep.
Wow. That's a deep cut.
I gotta find it. We gotta find that before they find my VHS tapes.
Nah, that's a bet. So, all right. So, as far as your musical journey and how did y'all start production? What got y'all down that road?
I know for me, it was remaking beats. Like what Alt Willie said, the old CDs. So I found the same sample of This Can't Be Life, and which is Harold Melvin and Blue Notes, I Miss You. So I started recreating that. That's when I learned this is how they did that. So once I started learning how to resample is when I learned, I can do this too. Well, of course, I put the work in, did the studying and everything like that. But once from that, that's how it started with me.
How it started with me, man, I was actually rapping first, and I just got tired of rapping over like industry instrumentals like the J Arms and all of that, man.
What was your rap name though, man?
Shout outs to J Arms, man.
Back in the day, it was Extreme, but after that, I changed it to Strizzy very early. I think I was like probably like
Extreme.
8th, 9th
Where'd that
grade.
come from, bro?
Man, just being a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Went to the
Me
extreme.
and my cousins, we had this group called like ZFX or whatever like that. We used to like just write raps in the living room or whatever, man. But yeah, man, I just got tired of rapping over industry instrumentals. We talked before, bro. I told you like I'm a Napster baby, man. So at the time I was like bootlegging CDs,
Man, look, he will bootleg you and shit.
LimeWire.
all of that. So
It's on the family computer.
right, yeah, big talk. But I was doing that. Found Fruity Loops. Actually, my cousin had it first. You know what I'm saying? He ain't tell me how he got it. He was making a beat. He was already sampling, had main ingredient up there. Everybody plays a fool. So actually, when I got Fruity Loops, that was like the first thing that I was trying to remake right there, man. Between Fruity Loops, Cool Edit Pro, and then my family, saw I had interest. So they gave me like this little DJ box, and they had like pre-made beats. You couldn't make nothing up there, but they had little sequences, man. You freak the sequences, you can make your own stuff, man. And then we used to like record over my aunt's Luther Vandross tapes, man. She ain't really like that, fuck with that like that, man.
You were bold.
Yeah, like you try to pop that.
That's where it came from, Extreme. That's where it came from.
You try to play that and they sit here with me and my cousins rapping on that like, what is this?
That remind me, I recorded over the Just For Me instructional tapes, creating my radio mixes on them joints.
Oh, man.
Box.
And we ain't even had no microphone, man. We had to take like the little $2 headphones, put a joint in my people's stereo in the microphone socket.
Yeah.
That joint worked like a charm, bro.
Yes, sir. Look, y'all know nothing about
Ran through all the tapes.
Y'all know nothing about that.
We ain't care about nothing how it sounds. We got all the echoes in the back.
Yeah.
Extreme.
Yeah.
To the max with it.
That's funny.
But as far as me, it was the summer of '04 to be exact. And the reason I remember that is because I was just moving in with my foster family around that time. And there's a guy named Julian, my foster brother. I remember him having the Fruity Loops demo version. And I believe
Talk about it.
Yeah.
if you had the guy's name, which I think his name was something to Quist,
That's Cool Edit. That's John
Cool
Q.
Edit.
but also I feel like Streety, shout out to Streety, baby.
Shout out to Streety, baby.
I'm gonna shout him out, my producer brother. We go back early 2000s. He put me onto a whole lot of game, Cool Edit, Fruity Loops,
That was the combo, man.
and I came out with a demo version, but he's the one that gave me the full version of Fruity Loops. So during that summer, I recall Julian making beats first, and I was like, damn, it kind of sound like ass. What you making in there?
Yo, that's wild.
No, that's why I was like, it sounds crazy in your room. Like, so I went into his room.
Jules.
Shout out to Jules.
Yeah.
Your beats got way better throughout the years. I just had to put that out there. I had to put my brother. But I was like, what is this mumbo jumbo coming out his room? So I went in his room. He got the program up. He's literally like, yo, this is called Fruity Loops. I'm just looking at all the little blocks and, piano roll. I'm just like, all right, whatever. So he gives me the demo version of that. I go in. I remember my first beat I made. It was off a T.I. sample. Loaded foes on the low, where the cheese at?
What you
where
know
where
about
the cheese?
that?
So I kept on. I looped that version. I looped that, and then I put a little piano. That beat was so ass. And I tell you, like, I was so proud of myself at the time because I'm like, yo, I made a beat.
Yeah.
I made
Start
something.
somewhere. Yeah.
I ain't set no BPM. I literally just went in
Start clicking.
and started clicking shit. So then, probably about 2 months later, I found out about the BPM. I'm like, oh, I need to keep it. If I'm sampling stuff, I need to keep it on BPM so it can sound good. So that's where my journey started, roughly.
See, and that's the thing, man. I like, man, we came up in the era where there was a lot of trial and error. This is like pre-YouTube. There won't no YouTube when I was making beats, you know what I mean?
Nah,
So,
you either had to have a friend that knew how to do it, or either you had to figure it out.
figure it out. You kids got it so good right now.
Hey,
Honestly, you know what? That because we're gonna get back on that, but like honestly, I don't know if that's better for them or not. Truthfully, because I believe it turns into a crutch for some people, bro. Like the way that people use like, and because there ain't nothing wrong with using splice loops or nothing like that, but like when you can like take loop after loop after loop and just like puzzle piece it, like you'll hear other like major producers like talk about that type of stuff. Like I want to see you sequence something, you know what I'm saying? I've heard like Mike Will, you know, say something about that, or like Mustard actually. So I don't know. I mean,
Well, you know,
that's
like,
real.
some of that stuff, man, like, and he taking little chops and everything, I feel like that kind of comes back to Pro Tools. Like, Pro Tools was like the first of its kind, wasn't it? And that was like in the 90s. Like, for real, like, Pro Tools is not that old.
The 80s actually, bro.
Was it the 80s?
Yeah, nah, like they was recorded in Pro Tools back in the 80s.
Well, maybe like
Yeah.
it didn't get real probably into the 90s because like everybody was just like maybe like late 90s, like everybody was like Pro Tools this. That's like, you know, back before that they had the reels, you know.
Yeah. I
Like,
never
that's
used Pro Tools a day in my life.
Never.
That's wild.
You ever use Cubase?
Yeah, I've used Cubase before.
I couldn't get in. I couldn't get into Cubase.
Man, FL
Yeah.
Studio, my whole
Me too.
Logic.
Logic. You ever mess with Cakewalk? You ever heard of Cakewalk?
Hey, yeah, nah, Cakewalk, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Ableton.
I had all of that through Napster. You hear me?
Hey,
Sony
again,
Asset Pro.
That's new.
Don't Asset Pro. Yeah.
As a pro.
he will bootleg and shit.
Cool Edit Pro. Remember when you get that? Cool Edit Pro 2.0.
All right, so what about your workflow? How'd you really get in and learn how to making beats, Al?
I think it was around that 2002, 2003 era. Shout out to my man J Mac. Me and
Shout out.
him
Hey,
grew up
that's-
together. Went to the same
That's a
school.
good man right there. It's good, brother.
Producer fan.
Yeah, he started working on Fruity Loops, with what it was called back then, and I remember trying to figure it out and was just trying to figure out like how to structure songs on there, because you could do anything in a piano roll, but how do you build it out to a song? So just working with him on that. Then for my senior project, I did like a whole like production. I made a beat tape. I have no idea where that beat tape went, but like I went to the actual studio, made even verses and all that, you know, documented the whole process, and that was like my senior project. So I think just learning how to flesh out like whole songs versus just a loop in Fruity Loops, I think got me started. And then I just took a hiatus for like a decade, I think. And I came back in 2017 and started jumping back in FL Studio. And I think maybe one of the first couple beats I made on FL Studio back in 2017, after like taking such a long hiatus, that's when Ill Mind was doing his tours around the country. And he came to Charlotte, and me and my man J Mac went down there, and I played him one of the beats, and he was like, "You sure you been going this long? Like this, you got some heat there." So it kind of encouraged me to like keep going. So shout out to Ill Mind and J Mac for helping down the road. Yeah.
Dude, J Mac, I gotta pay homage to him real quick. He is one of the only cats, as far as producers in the beat battles, that I competed against. I could not ever beat that guy. It don't matter what type of beat I thrown out there.
It might have been something I worked on with him.
He had Yoga Flame for everything I threw at him. It was like, didn't matter. Didn't matter.
He definitely dope.
Yeah, Mac
Putting
is
in
like
the work.
that.
Yeah.
Did not matter. Like, he ran through the competition like it was no other. Like him and Skates, type of people I got mad love for on the beat battle scene, you know?
Yeah, the
I
beat
feel
battle
like
scene is something else.
that's a whole nother.
I tried.
Actually, because now we actually need to jump back into that, because we definitely need to get your experience on like beat battles and stuff. But yeah, I actually started on hardware first. Believe it or not, I was trying to get into college. It's like my homie. No, I actually downloaded the demo version of Fruity Loops. Like I think it was like Fruity Loops 2. Now, again, if all real heads know, if you had the demo version, you could not save it. You had to bounce that joint out, or else it would not exist ever again.
Yeah.
So like you had to speed run that. So like I ain't get none of that, right? It didn't
And you
exist
had to
to
have
me
the
at all.
stock sounds too.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, yep. You had to have the stock sounds, and you had to make them sound good. But they weren't bad at the time. Actually, they weren't bad now that I remember it. But my father got me a beat machine called the MC Roland 909. I mean, the Roland MC 909. He claimed it was a step down from like the 9,000 or something like that Beyonce would have on her tours and stuff like that at the time. And I was like, oh, you know, like you don't really know what that means as a kid. You just hear a celebrity name and it's just like, all right, cool. It sounds like it's gonna be fun to work on. But that's when I really started getting my timing down, finger drumming, learned about arpeggiators and chords and chord progressions and stuff. And then my homie, Justin McClain, shout outs to him. He taught me how to sample using the fruity, not the fruity slicer. It was, nah. It was the Wave Traveler.
The Wave Traveler. Wow.
Yeah. I can actually still show y'all how to do that.
I'm like, what is that?
The Wave Traveler is basically like what you would use to like scratch in Fruity Loops, right? But like if you have the settings a certain way, you can actually play with the pitch, speed, and then like cut the sample where you want it. So you can chop up without having to overload, because like my family computer couldn't have it. We had LimeWire, we had BearShare too. So you know there were viruses on that. So
messing up the gateway.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
The computer had COVID before COVID. You know
Hey, listen,
COVID 1.
C1 for real.
On Windows 98. Nah, let me stop. But nah, like he showed me how to sample for the first time. And then again, shout outs to my brother, Streety Baby. You know what I'm saying?
Streety Baby.
He's the one that actually gave me my first official copy of Fruity Loops. And from there, it's on.
That was crazy. He gave you your first copy and he gave me my first copy. I wonder if you was Streety. Were you out there just giving out copies of Fruity Loops?
He was the plug. He knew, look, he saw talent, and when he saw talent, he tried to nurture it, and that's what he always tries to do.
It sounded like he was on Napster like me.
Yeah.
He just gave y'all copies.
Nah. Bro was about to leave for the Navy.
He was.
At the time.
Exactly.
So like, and this was around the time where he was telling me a story about a producer that, you know, I'm not going to name. Yeah. He's up there, right? So like if we said the name, we all know who he is. But
is it Baltimore, bro? Like, you ain't say his name?
Nah. I'm cool.
It rhymes with Wanye.
Wow, nah. That's not the one I was thinking of.
That's what he was talking me about.
Oh wow, okay. Now you got
Kanye.
Well, we can edit it and post if we need.
Nah. I need that story.
Yes.
Like, hey, y'all gonna have to get the Patreon for that. Nah, we ain't got that yet.
Exclusive.
But nah, he gave me my first joint. And then from there, I just kept working at it. And I didn't try to recreate anything. I tried to create what I heard in my head.
Yeah.
Then I moved up to Machine and then the 404, and you know, next is the MPC. But yeah, so what was like? Do y'all remember the first record y'all sampled?
Told you, Everybody Plays a Fool by Main Ingredient.
Yeah.
I think after that, like, you know, I told you I was bootlegging, so man, they had like these zip files of like, you know, your favorite hip hop album, but it was like nothing but the samples up there. So I would have like College Dropout, nothing but the samples, Purple Haze, nothing but the samples, all of that. And I would just like recreate those, and then some, you know, over time to start making my own, or like reflipping the ones that I already knew.
I did the same thing, but I got from Kevin Nottingham. That's where I got all my samples, because he would have.
That name sounds so
He would have all the records that the artist had, but I had the samples that they used. So it came in that zip file as well. But my first song I probably sampled was either Harold Melvin and Blue Notes, I Miss You, or Lenny Williams, Cause I Love You.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm such a Kanye
Yeah.
head, so every sample that I had was Kanye based. So that's how I got my first start with using those samples.
Okay. All right.
My first sample was Summer Breeze.
That's a good one.
I just looped the hell out of that thing, just like that. I didn't put too much drums in it because that's around the time Kanye was putting light drums on his stuff. I was like, I don't want to put heavy drums on this. I can easily go to a trap and put some hi-hats and speed this up, but I wanted to be kind of soft percussion on this, and just kept on looping. It was an endless loop, but I loved the hell out of that beat. So, yes.
It sounded like a perfect cypher beat to me.
Summer
You know what I'm
Breeze by
saying?
Isley Brothers. Yeah, it was. I'm gonna bring it back out. I'm gonna see if I got that shit in Google on my Yahoo, my old email account, because it ain't on my new.
My man said, yeah.
It's on Yahoo. They might have got that. The hackers might be.
Yeah, the hackers
It's a
got
nice
that.
beat.
They rapping to it now.
The hackers beat.
Yeah.
They can have it.
I'm trying to go back in my mind to remember. I remember working on, shout out to J Mac again. Me and him were roommates in college as well. And we had found all these soundtracks from all of the 007 movies. So like
That's so
Goldfinger, like all those samples. I remember, going through those and trying to sample those. And then when I start doing it on my own a little bit, I remember Time Life magazine used to have like these huge collections of like hits from the 80s, hits from the 90s, and just like diving through all those. I'm pretty sure that's probably why at the time NC State was like the number one offender of like illegal downloads. I would just download like the whole Time Life catalog on the school network. Not a good idea. Don't do that, kids.
Not the number one offender.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, like in the nation, like the RIAA actually like came to our campus and set up an office and just started like calling people and was like, y'all wildin'. We gotta like give somebody a temp job to just wrangle kids all day.
Oh, wow.
It was bad at that time.
NC State.
Yeah. I mean, it's an engineering school. Kids gonna figure it out,
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. It blew my mind when I heard about how people were stealing beats early on in the day, like off of SoundClick. Yeah, what y'all know about SoundClick?
Look,
What y'all know about that?
I was in high school. Yeah, man. I was in high school, man. There's some cats out there. We trying to come back over the summer. 3 months, and they got these crazy beats. Kind of find out they on SoundClick downloading the just, and you trying to throw salt on my name. I'm trying to make me a couple dollars. Like, don't be mad at me, bro. Like, that's
Yeah,
crazy,
be a producer.
man.
Wait, so what exactly was it?
So basically, there was a hack in pretty much any like old school like interface. You could even do this on Audacity, the Pro Tools, right? You could like plug in your you could actually like do it without plugging in your laptop into like an interface or something like that. You just had to set it a certain way, like in the interface, or like in the engineering program, the recording program, and you could like record it straight off of SoundCloud. No BS. I've seen it happen.
On SoundCloud, but like
SoundClick too.
But SoundClick, for some of them joints, man, you can just straight up download.
Yeah,
SoundClick,
yeah, that too.
SoundClick is just basically a website for like early on, like probably like late 90s, early 2000s, where like producers can put their music in like, and then like local artists, they could put their songs just like before SoundCloud.
Yeah, it was our first store. It was our first music store.
Okay.
Yeah. And they would rank you too, and like be number 40 in the US.
Yeah, there was BeatStars before BeatStars.
But it was so early in the game, people can get away with downloading it and saying it was theirs.
Yeah. Before tags.
Ooh, and we gonna come back to that later because there's been a lot of that happening recently. So with that being said, like let's get into the Genius Party though. Like, how, like, does anybody want to talk about like their particular story around the Genius Party and like, yeah, let's just talk about it, like how we started, because I think a lot of people are gonna want to know what, how we came together. I think that's a thing. So I guess I'll start it. I was in California at the time. I was about to move back home. Some like stuff was getting real. It was during COVID. So, around that time, I'm already like on Facebook with Strizzy. And we're just passing stems back and forth to each other, making beats together online in Facebook.
And this is
Video
this is during COVID, y'all.
This is yes.
I mean, but how did you first come across it?
So, all right. I guess I'm gonna be a little bit vulnerable here. So, like, a lot of stuff was going on in my personal life. I was about to go through a divorce, and I really couldn't interact with nobody. I was just in the house furloughed because I was working for a hotel. Who gonna be staying in a hotel during COVID? Nobody, right? So, and I was doing corporate AV at the time. So that's my main background. And I used to go live on Facebook all the time, just doing my thing, putting my Cash App up. Hey, if you want to bless a brother, do your thing. And I think Strizzy had like seen a live of mine, or like there's somebody on like that's a mutual friend shared it, and you know we started just talking back and forth, and then you know when I told him I was coming home, I was like, hey, yo, let's get the Genius Party started. You know, like we had been talking about it. So yeah, then we reached out to you, Ace, and then Millie, and then you know. We formed up like Voltron. We gathered, you know, Professor X, you know, shout outs to him. Epic Rail, shout outs to him. And then we started kind of, you know, making our own showcases, getting around town, doing our thing. So that's you know, that's how I remember it.
And,
how about y'all?
And just to like piggyback off of that, we met online and you know, we was like sitting stems, you know what I'm saying, trying to make beats back and forth across the country. And I think we actually kind of started the Genius Party, bro, before you moved back here, because, you know, we was running stuff online because we want nothing like open like that, you know what I'm saying? So we started with a Facebook message board, which we need to revisit that, because we was just like posting beats up there. The simple challenges that y'all see, that's where its inception started from there, and people were just like posting their flips. I think we had like it was like the 25th anniversary of ATLians, and in my bootlegging self found all the acapellas, and I posted on Facebook. I don't even know how Facebook just let it ride, but it just let it ride up there, and people were like downloading like the acapellas and just doing their own remixes. Well, man, we damn near almost had like a full album off of that, man, and you know, just through all of that, man, like we were just talking and kind of find out like, oh, bro, I knew Millie, you know what I'm saying? Like we had a lot of mutual friends. I'm like, how do we not know each other? You know what I'm saying? We kind of around the same circles. But yeah, man. And then bro moved back by that time, and we all came together, and the doors was opening for, you know, people to like live entertainment, going to bars and stuff, man. And, you know, we got our chance through the House of Art, but that's how I remember.
I know for me, the inception with me, all of y'all, was probably Shakedown Street or either Black Flower.
I miss those days.
Uncle John. Shout
outs to Uncle John.
Shout out to Uncle John.
Shout out Uncle John.
Sure.
Shakedown Street, classic venue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and shout out to Bishop Omega too, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Bishop, yeah.
Yeah, I remember me and Amp went to A3C, and I think that's when we first started.
Wait, what year was that?
Oh, man.
It had to be 2011 to 2012.
Yeah.
It was one of them.
I was curious about, I was there at the same time as y'all, but
no, you definitely were, because because Angel was there at the time.
Yeah.
A-Rob was out there at the time.
Yeah, I went out there for Drugs Beats, and he was going to a beat battle, and the guy didn't show up. So he just ended up playing his beat set, and people were just cheering for him. I was like, this is the most legendary shit I've ever seen. Like,
I remember that.
He was talking shit about the dude and everything. He was like, he didn't show up because of me. It was like some wrestling shit. And I was like, yes, I'm the beat master of the world. You gonna listen to my beats? You can kiss my ass. Like,
them cutting room floor shenanigans.
Yeah.
but Ace, you were saying that y'all was at A3C.
Yeah, A3C. And then, but on the way through A3C, though, me and him would play beats back and forth. And if you know the trip from North Carolina to Atlanta, was in beat by beat.
6 hours of beats.
Yeah. But then I used to live across the street, up the street from Millie. But I've always known Millie and everything like that. But we had a mutual friend, and I was like, bro, I stay right up the street. It's like, word. Go right down to the basement, make beats. I still got some of those old videos, bro, when you had hair. So, but yeah, and then Strizzy, like I said, I remember those sample challenges with the Outkast. Yeah. I never did one, but I remember that posting that and me thinking the same thing. Like, man, Facebook ain't get this guy yet. Like, what's going on? But we all basically started in Millie's basement, making beats, and then eventually led the showcases, State Fair, and you know, it's only up from here.
For sure.
Wow. I could say roughly 2006-07 with these cats. Said, Black Flower, Kathmandu, Berkeley Cafe, some of the venues that you haven't seen for years. I know these
shout
cats.
out to Brewery, man.
Yeah, Brewery. Yeah.
Oh man, I miss
shout
the
out to
Brewery.
Brewery. Like, shoot, even Deep South. There's so many venues that we used to rock out and just go in there and just enjoy NC hip hop at its finest. And so as far as what I remember a chat being opened up, and then we were just talking producer shit, for real. And then as far as I remember, next, we wanted to meet up in my basement, because I know they was talking previously. He was out of town and he was moving back to Raleigh. So we met up in my basement, in my old crib. And I feel like we were trying to make some beats around that time, because everybody had their own beat machine and we were trying to sync up the BPM. So we was making a beat, everybody had their own element, and then we were making one beat. And somebody said it. It was like, this is some genius shit. Somebody said it out like loud.
Yeah,
it was like,
that was you.
That was me.
Yeah, that was you.
That was me.
And it was like, yo, this is some genius shit. And then somebody was like,
yeah, it's the Genius Party.
It was like, Genius Party. It was like, that's how I recall it coming out like that with the name. So from there, it was like, yeah, we're going to start doing events. We want to do a producer spotlight, because we felt like producers are slept on. We wanted to give producers the right spotlight, give them shows, give them a platform to showcase their art. So many introverts in the music game. We wanted to give them a spotlight to really shine. And shoot, 3.5 years, boys.
3 years, boy, yeah.
It's definitely been over 3 years.
Yeah, over 3 years.
What number show is this right here?
Man,
39?
Is it 39?
Trust me, it's 39.
39 shows, you guys. 39 shows. And all of them have been flamed. No trash shows, all fire producers, artists, DJs. That's phenomenal in my eyes.
And that's not even including like the open access, man.
Yeah.
We definitely
And
been
put them on the floor.
Yeah, like every month, man. So
The community stuff.
Festivals,
Yeah.
beat making seminars for the kids at elementary schools, just performed at the state fair.
We do a lot.
We do a lot, man. So, I really reflect a lot over this time. It's just came together crazy.
All right, so Al, because you're the newest member of the party, so
Young
what?
OG.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So what was your story around the Genius Party, and what inspired you to want to be a part of it?
So it's trying to go back and get the timeline right. So 2019, I had moved to Atlanta to work at Georgia Tech, and I remember when COVID was happening. But prior to 2019, remember I had took a hiatus like a decade from music, right? And I jumped right back in. I was still in Raleigh at the time. And I remember I was like, I'm gonna just jump in and start doing beat battles, right? I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but this is the only way I can get people to hear and get like feedback, as well as hear my mix in club speakers. That way I can see what I need to do. Whether I win or not, that's cool. And I think it was a beat battle at Pinhook, and I think there was like a showcase at like Paris Lounge back in the day, as well as I played at what's the joint at Deep South, downtown Raleigh.
Oh yeah, not Shakedown Street. It's Deep South Bar.
Yeah,
Deep South Bar. Yeah.
But I remember coming across
Deep
Millie
South.
on the beat battle scene as well. Like you just start hearing all these names, so I already kind of had like a familiarity at least with Millie. But then once I moved away, came back in 2021, I think, where I moved back to Raleigh, and I'm like, okay, I need to find a community, right? Community is everything. And I think I had saw somebody posted like one of the events on Facebook, and at the time I think I saw you all playing over on Tobacco campus. I think you would
Beats and
doing
Bars.
Past the Hogs.
It was a Beats and Bars.
It was either Beats and Bars or Past the Hogs.
I think it was a Beats and Bars around the time he's talking about.
Yeah.
But it was just like anybody was going up and playing right outside of Boricua Soul. Like that's what it was.
Yep. No, that was
that's-
Beats and
that's-
Bars, because me and Rel was out there.
but that was on Professor X.
Yeah.
That's
And that's Past the
I'm
Hogs.
saying that's how I
He
came
had passed
across.
the ops. The
Yeah.
Puerto Rico Soul.
Yeah.
And then once I connected with you all and just started paying attention to social media, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just show up to these events and just get to know the people behind the scenes. And I was like, I like that the community is being built here, because it was something that I was looking for. Because prior to that, I was a part of like the I Standard community.
Shout out to them too, man.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
a part of that
yeah.
too.
They really
Yeah, me
helped me
too.
get my start and the knowledge there. So RPJ Hatch as well for that. And shout out to C's as well. And yeah, so that like once I saw how a community can be built and I saw what you all were doing, I was like, okay, I gotta find a way to be a part of it. And any time you want to be a part of something, you have to learn how to serve first. So I'm like, okay, well, what way can I be of service? And then if anything happens from there. So just, being around, asking if you all need anything. And then I came across you all at Mellow Mushroom that time. I think, Yeah.
And me and my wife were walking around. I was like, oh yeah, that's down. Let's
Shout out
talk
to
to
Lindsay.
him. Yeah. So, from there, it's just, finding opportunities to try to add to what was already like an amazing, product and experience, and just try to add whatever insights I can as well.
Okay, and it's been very valuable. Speaking of insights, so I think this is actually a really important one. I think this is it'll give like a little bit more people about insight on us, like as far as what we've learned. So like, what has everybody learned since we started this venture called the Genius Party?
Man,
Learned.
I learned more about business and talking to people face to face, as far as even if it's the producers or the artists or just the bartender behind the bar, wherever we go, it's just making mutual relationships and having those relationships in the future. So I think for me, it's just more about the business part for me.
Oh, I was about to say, bro, like, and I'll say this because like anybody that talked to you before the Genius Party,
Yeah.
that was not, they would not categorize you as a person that would just like walk up to people and be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm such and such, like, so yeah.
I'm very introverted, by the way. So, but yeah, that's for me. It made me be more extroverted, I should say.
Indeed. I'll piggyback off of that. Definitely business. Before the Genius Party, like, I was just rapping and making beats. Now, if you told me like, hey, 3 years from now, you're going to be doing that, plus DJing, plus talking to people, plus setting up meetings, plus, all the, other things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd say you'd be lying, man, but I definitely learned a lot and developed a lot of different hacks, I'm proud of what we do. And definitely want to move this to the next level, with all of us, man. And then also definitely want to, apply a lot of this stuff to my own, individually as well, man. So, definitely on the business side for sure.
I would say definitely on the business side, and also networking is key. I've learned throughout the years not to burn a bridge, because you never know when you got to cross back over that mug. So I haven't burned any bridges out here on the hip hop scene. So it helps me now. If I ever need to reach out to an artist or producer, it's easy money for me, because we never had any issues. If I'm trying to get them on a lineup, they're like easily like, yo, I'm with it, because you're a good, genuine dude. I know you. You've been on the scene for a long time. So networking, key. Marketing, social content, just keeping eyes on your business, learning that type of thing. Also just trying to, carry different hats and trying to learn different things. Trying to get into the DJ thing more and more. Shoot, I got in a machine since the time I've been with the Genius Party. So I learned a whole different software, hardware. Just learning, continue to learn while you grow. So that's been vital to me.
So I'll add, there's two things. One, learning about the gear and hardware from the professor of all things AV, AMP. Just, taking in the knowledge and walking, just watching the setup or asking questions, just trying to pull in some of that knowledge there. But also, one of the biggest things is, learning that you can't do it by yourself, right? And that's something that's been tough for me, because I've always been, everything internal, just a one-stop shop, very nervous to delegate or reach out to people. And, the older I get, the more I realize, hey, you can't, do it by yourself. And so that's one thing that I've learned is seeing how you all lean on each other. And I like, that facet of it as well. So that's one thing that I learned just by, being around and watching.
Okay. No, that's what's up. That's what's up. Because I want to get back into the business tip later. But what I learned is that, I also was the same way. Like, I wanted to do everything by myself. But I also recognized that I feel like I work better, like, with people. I believe in a quote that goes a little something like this: if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go together. And that's what this community embodies. Like, God, it's been a lot. So before this, like I said, my whole background was in corporate AV. So it was just setting up speakers, projector screens, like 3D, like video mapping, like all that kind of stuff. I was in the pipeline learning that, but like, so I took that and then I threw like graphic design on like my thing, like, cause I didn't really know how to use Photoshop, Illustrator like that, but now I can design an EPK. You know what I'm saying? I can design flyers and stuff like that. I was not a video editor. I would just do that stuff on my phone. Now I can do that. Like, it's getting easier and easier and easier the more and more I do it. But also, learning how to let go and, trust the people and talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Because communication is key in any and all relationships.
Indeed.
Because if you're not being vocal about how you feel and, there might be some rips there. You know what? No, not even might be. There will be. Because everybody ain't going to see everything the same way, So it's also taught me to, like, keep in mind, like, my brothers are around me because we all have the same mission and vision. And no ego is better or greater than the mission and the vision. And that's what makes us strong. And that's what makes this community strong. So just trusting in our people, and trusting in ourselves. Because we'll always figure it out. But the business side of it, like, so, and I'm learning that too, because I'm not really the type of person to go around the venues and be like, hey, like, what's the building capacity? Like,
what's the square?
What's the square footage? Like I need to know what beverages you have. Do you have Coors Light on tap? Like, like, IPAs. I need my White Claw. Specifics. But yeah, like, no, you learn about splits. You know what I'm saying? You learn about having security, having insurance, having your paperwork lined up. So, like, as far as the business side of it, like, can y'all go into a little bit of that, and then we'll probably get into the games a little bit later.
I'm sorry I said that. Then get into like the behind the scenes, like as far as with
as far as like business wise.
I mean, first off, man, you gotta you gotta reach out to the people, man. You gotta make yourself pleasant. You know what I'm saying? And available. Also, unless you got people that or what people are willing to take a chance on you, you definitely got to come with some kind of stats. Just to let people know, like, what you're working with, pause, you know what I'm saying? As far as like, how many people you bring in, I really don't care about like the square footage or, what kind of drinks you got. It matters if you got a bar or whatnot, but like, that's like icing on the cake, man. It's all about facilitating a place where, we can all rock out, man. So, that, and then also, just, man, focus on, we got a team, we are the team, man, but, finding people outside of us to help build that team even further, so people can see what we're doing, you know what I mean? From photos to video, everything, so at the end of the day, man, you gotta go ahead and put yourself out there, man, and talk with people, converse with the people, man. At our shows, man, you never know who's gonna be there. You never know, what kind of value somebody may bring to what you're trying to do. Even if it's not the Genius Party, you could be a solo artist, you know. So, you know, we have all sorts of creatives that have those types of measures. So.
And I know just dealing with the business side and also maintaining a personal and professional relationship is a key with it, because you never know what could happen. And, you know, we might be in a bond, that person might be in a bond, that company might be in a bond, and everything will go perfectly smooth. And then keep going and keep perfectly smooth, and then, you know, also just maintaining it as far as how we need to do it.
As far as the business side, you know, continue to keep the eyes on the business, especially with the social media on the back end. You want to keep eyes on the business so it continues to grow socially. Never burning bridges. Just getting in with folks that you don't normally get in with. Try to get in different rooms. That's what I've been trying to do more of. Find more people that's like-minded, like me. Try to reach out to them online. Just get them more knowledgeable about the Genius Party. And also word of mouth, you know, continue to just spread word, whether through Uber. I be at my job talking about Genius Party all the time, just trying to, you know, get the followers up. So.
Nah, but that's what's up. That's what's up. I would say, like, on the business tip for me, like I said, I think one of the things that I have gone into this with is wanting to be some person that brings value to the places that we enter. You know what I'm saying? My mom and my father taught me, you know, when you go somewhere, you know, you leave it in a better place than you found it. So we always strive to, like, you know, bring as many people as we can out, because we know what we have. You know, this community is amazing. The people genuinely in it are geniuses. You know what I'm saying? We don't just say that. It ain't just some slogan or motto. Like, we have met a lot of people that really are geniuses at what they do. And, you know, we just try to, you know, cast that light on them and make sure that they're, you know, shining out here, because they should be. So.
Business.
Yeah.
No, so I think business-wise, some of the things I learned is more so about, I guess, corporate structure. You know, LLC routes, the different benefits. You know, I know we've learned about grants. You all have experience with grants, so that's, you know, something that I admire how you all are on that path to make sure all those things are filled out. And I think just knowing what things businesses are looking for, because once again, you have to bring something to them, right? Strizzy said, having those stats, but also just learning from other people's mistakes and stories about, you know, different, you know, tax strategies and things like that. You know, where I've been able to kind of learn some of those things through my own education, that I just look forward to being able to bring in, because it's the game is set up a certain way. You just got to learn which game they're playing. There's always a game being played. You just don't know the name of the game. Once you find out the name of the game, then you got to find a way to get in it, and it's all tax and corporate strategy. So that's where, you know, some of those insights I've been able to come across, where I'm hoping to be able to project and bring.
That's a bet. So we're going to get into our next segment called This or That, basically where, you know, we play a game where, you know, you can get with this, you can get with that. So I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. So the first question is, you know, Kanye West or Just Blaze? Get with this or get with that? What you getting with?
Yay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Because it's a personal thing with me. Like I said, I started making beats like Kanye. I want to do everything like Ye. So however he made those drums, how he made those sample chops, that was just me. Don't get me wrong, Just Blaze is still fire. Like I
sure.
love Just. But if we have to go with totality and personally, I'm saying Ye.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Just Blaze, but you know, I definitely you know, came up off of Kanye, inspired by Kanye to the fullest, you know what I'm saying? But man, Just Blaze, man, you know, he had like some crazy stuff, man, you know, from like Mariah Records, all Freeway, all of that, man. We don't even gonna talk about like the NBA Street beats and stuff like that, or like, you know, the Game of Volume 2, like the Game Breaker joints, you know, the joints he did on NBA Live, man, like it's crazy. I love how he, you know, he chops his own samples, he DJs, but he knows how to bring other elements in, like he might bring a whole band in, or like whole choir, man, like he turns it into a certain sound, and I love that.
And he can play the keys too.
Yeah,
he can play the key. Yeah.
For
Nah,
sure.
he's one hell of a drummer. You know what I'm saying? All right, Millie.
So I would go with, Just Blaze on this one. I just love the elements he puts in his beats. I love his drum cadences. Sound like he got a live drummer in there just drumming the hell out of on the sample. Even though what you do is wrong, it's my all-time, favorite beat. So that trumps everything for me.
Yes, it does. Yes, I love that joint. I still go crazy over that record.
If my kids hungry, snatch the dishes out your kitchen.
I'll be wild until they pick me out of lineup.
Philadelphia Freeway.
It's like stand for the national anthem, start playing,
Hey, listen,
even though what we do is wrong.
Listen, we gonna make it.
Hey,
Yeah, we gonna make it. That's all Alchemist.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
fun
I'm saying, but that could be the anthem.
No, fun fact, that's what we used to bring the show out on a lot. Like, that's how we used to ride out, you know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
the
like,
outro.
yeah, man, shout outs to Just Blaze, man. How about you?
I think I'll still rock with Kanye.
Thank you.
I just love
Why you say it like
the sounds and the samples that he bring. I did, like I said, I have nothing but respect for Justin, his path and instrumentation, but it's hard for me to ignore Kanye's input. And I mean, I think the last time I got like really excited about an album and could listen to it back and forth, and it had been a while for that. And I remember this was maybe 2011, 2012, whenever Common B album came out. And I was like, okay, this, and so that kind of set my path. Like I already knew some of the works they did, but I was like, okay, if he's working on this album or the sound that he has, it just resonated with me a little bit more.
Okay. Well, I mean, because I'm trying to keep it short, but I'm trying to keep it brief, but I'm trying to keep it, black as fuck. I would say, yay, man. He influenced me to really get on the beats, and I loved rapping. I mean, I still love rapping, and I want to do it again. But like, yeah, it had to be Kanye for me. And this will be the last this or that question, and then we gon',
I think even with Kanye, like he was the most influential, but I feel like as far as like a Rockefeller sound, like Just Blaze, embodied that, like the Dynasty 2000, we talking about like Stick to the Script.
Yeah.
It's like classic beat, man. Like you just, man, it's just like when you remember where you was at when you heard it.
Oh, most definitely. But yeah, like Ye influenced like a lot of decisions in life. I went to like engine. No, I'm so serious. Like y'all laugh, but I'm so like I went to like the college I went to because like I wanted to be a better sound engineer. Because like, and I can learn how to record myself, and I can learn how to do my own graphic design for my album art. When album art was a thing instead of a thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Wait Tech Gang.
Hey,
Wait Tech Gang.
I can't even shout out my school no more because they closed.
That's what it
Thank
was.
goodness.
Wait Tech. I knew I met strictly before Hip Hop Gang. Like that's true. Yeah, it was
Wait Tech, and then Black Flower, man.
Black
What I'm
Flower.
saying? With me, I'm with like FKBS, AJ, Julian, Lauren. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
wow, man.
Oh, and we're all
Goldie,
educated on
yeah.
that too. Everybody, very educated.
Almost
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Good geniuses.
It's the genius
To
part.
be a dumbass to be, calling ourselves Genius Party. It's a thing.
You already know. All right, so this is gonna be the last this or that question, and we gonna get to the final segment. Get in, get out of here. All right, so would you rather get signed to a label in the '90s or be independent now?
Independent now.
I would say, go ahead.
Independent now. Just solely because it's like you got so many more ways and avenues now to make money or to get your sound heard out there. In the 90s, it's like, you still had word of mouth, but now you got the whole internet. I think it's really beneficial independent now.
I want to say independent now, and truthfully, it is independent now. But in the 90s, they was giving out way more money, with these record labels for the production, your advertisement for that album. Even as a producer, the checks were bigger. We came up, all of us, we came up in the super producer era. So you got folks like Just Blaze, Manny Fresh, Alchemist. These guys was getting $40,000, $50,000 checks just for the beat, on site. We're not even talking about the back.
You know
what I'm saying? So it's just they were just giving out way more money back then, versus now. Now, you gotta, then they were more grassroots back then. So they would go to the hoods and stuff. It's just MC Serge, he found Nas in the hood and stuff like that. Record labels, they don't give a fuck about that no more. No, you gotta come with your product, everything. You gotta have stats yourself. You gotta be a business already before they even invest money into you. And when they invest money into you, unless you're the next big thing, like that. They gon', they only gonna throw 10, 20,000 at you. Maybe 100,000, but even 2025, 100,000 ain't shit. Bro.
Not at all.
Especially if you're trying to put out an album and trying to put it out to the masses.
Shoot, that's just your online campaign and ad marketing.
And then we don't even want to get into streaming because you know how they did, they doing with the streaming stuff and everybody getting, a percentage on the cents. That don't even make any sense like that. Versus somebody back in the 90s, they're going 3, 4, 5 times platinum and people buying $10, $20 CDs. Come on now.
And that's why I would say I'm signing with Bad Boy or I'm signing with them Death Row.
Talk about it.
I'm signing with Death Row. Diddy ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm going for the bread.
I mean,
I ain't gonna be in the party.
Bad Boy, bro.
Jeezy was on Bad Boy.
I'm about to say,
some people was up there, man. Yeah. And it's not even about who you signed to. It's what did you read the contract?
Deal. Yeah.
Did you read the contract? What you signed on that? Some people just give me the paper. I'm gonna sign right here, and then you think they were we're gonna give you $1 million, and that's it. You know what I mean? But out on the back end, we taking 70%. The rest of it's gonna go towards everybody stuff.
You ain't talk about publishing yet. You ain't talk about points.
That's if you really got publishing,
distribution, all of that.
Assistants,
producers, all of that.
I would still say independent, with the only caveat being I could learn from people's mistakes from those previous decades, from their stories. Hit Boy just got out of his deal, Jazzy Jeff just got out of one of his long-term deals. So you can hear other people's stories and learn from those mistakes. Yeah, the opportunities were plentiful because it was grassroots, like you're saying. But I feel like nowadays, you not only can you learn from people's mistakes, but you can pivot into other avenues a little bit more because the world is small and because the internet is there. So, a company in Japan may see you and be like, oh, let's bring this person over here. It's more accessible. Music happens. So I feel like the opportunities for growth are a little bit more present now, especially if you're independent. And that way you can, if a label still wants to approach you, you can do a joint venture deal rather than signing anything, because you already have your own business, your own entity going on. Not to dive too much into those business things, but the opportunities are still plenty. You just have to learn how to navigate them and set yourself up to operate as a business rather than just a producer, because the producer is an employee of the business and the business is a subsidiary of the holding company. And that's all the free game I'll give y'all right now.
Not to mention producers are artists too.
Yes, yeah. Pay your producers. Pay your
Put
producer.
yourself on the writing credits too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey, of course, because you are composing.
Yeah, they definitely in the credits.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely.
Except for the ghost. But yeah, that's a whole nother.
Hey, but
It's a whole nother
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
Bro, like even though like I heard a story what's that all about the Benjamins or one of them old Biggie songs, man, and like I think Puffy and Mace was on it, and then when the Biggie got up there, the whole beat changed, and like Kanye made that part of it, but he was like ghost producer for somebody else. So like you got ghost writers, they might do stuff for Drake or whatever like that, man, but you got ghost producers too. You know what I mean? So
shout outs to Quentin Miller.
oh yeah, wait a minute.
QM.
Yeah.
And Daylight. Shout outs to Daylight too. I don't know, man. I struggle with this one because in the 90s, you still had artist development,
Yeah.
right? You still had people that were getting paid to be invested in you. You know what I'm saying? Like you were an investment. Exactly. Nowadays, it feels like, again, you have, like you said, bro, like you have to be the total package. You have to come with your marketing plan. You got to have your campaign rollouts. You got to, and don't be nobody's rollout. You know what I'm saying?
Radio was a lot like that too, man.
Yeah. But the rules of engagement were a little bit different back then. Like, you knew if you wanted to go and get your stuff played on the radio, you might have to pay a little bit. But back then in that economy, you might be able to actually afford that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you knew somebody at the radio station.
Once again, fuck Apple Music, Spotify.
I ain't gonna say fuck.
I'm gonna say
I ain't gonna say
What about them burning bridges? What about that?
Millie Vaughn speaking. Fuck Apple Music.
There you go,
Spotify.
genius.
I'm an independent artist. I do what I do on Bandcamp. Shout out Bandcamp.
Shout outs to Bandcamp.
But you don't think that Apple Music and Spotify reach is good for you? It's building a community?
I'm reaching with Bandcamp.
And then also, as an independent artist, man, if you get to a certain level, you can also catch bad with these Spotify's and Apple Music.
You certainly can. You certainly can. But no, I wrestle with it all the time because I feel like a lot of artists suffer because they don't have artist development nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason why you can have like meme artists now. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But I guess, like, long story short, man, I want to be signed to a label in the early 2000s. But I'd probably like get signed in the 90s, like, spend my money wisely, make sure I got a lawyer checking out the deal, make sure I got my agent right, you know what I'm saying, booking agents and all that other stuff. And then, like, also, you didn't have to necessarily deal with 360 deals where they take everything that you got, like a piece of every part of that pie. So
that 360 deal kind of came a little bit after the 90s.
I know it definitely did. It definitely did. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, that 90s exposure, also, you weren't dealing with as much competition because everybody stayed in their lane. Everybody wasn't trying to be a rapper or a producer. And you know what I'm saying?
Or
like,
even if they were, they all had their own sound.
Exactly. So like it was a little bit easier to stand out. Now you're fighting against algorithms and like programming on a back end that you can't even really comprehend. And everybody coming out with videos all the time telling you how to beat the algorithm. And it's crazy.
And then you got competition, man. Like you dealing with these labels, man. Like, say you sign to a label, you sign to Sony, right? Then you get out your deal. You know what Sony gonna do? And especially if you're a top selling artist, they're gonna find another ampersand.
You know it.
And they're gonna put them out there, and they're gonna look and sound a lot like you.
Matter of fact, no, they're gonna generate another ampersand because we now dealing with AI musicians and artists and DJs and all that kind of stuff, man.
It's been around. AI been around, man. Even like with GarageBand, with the little drummers and all of that, man. Or even like little small nuances over the years, man. If your dad gonna put your face on the screen, got little puppy dog ears and all that.
Yeah, that's AI.
You done dealt with AI, bro. So it's been here longer than you think, bro.
Yeah, most producers and recording artists have already been dealing with AI, like with Pro Tools way back in the day with Beat Detective. They would take out all the silence in your records, like all the, imperfections and stuff like that. So honestly, bro, like I kind of want to see what that experience is like in the 90s, because now, it's a little bit tougher, but like it just depends on knowing your business and knowing what you can do and what your strengths are, and then developing that. So you can find success in both ways. But it just depends on what your situation like.
And then also, with AI, man, it's always, I feel like you can't down any tool, man. It's like I said, a tool in bold, italicized tool. You know what I'm saying? So like, you use it in all
You had to
caps.
put that in French.
You know what I'm saying? You use it as a tool and make stuff your own, not just straight up AI. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be creative. Man. It's just like with sampling, we got these whole songs, but, we chopping it up and making it our own.
That's right. You can't generate that. You got to create that. You got to be a genius to do that. But all right, that's the end of like this or that. That's our little game. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all enjoyed that. And now we're about to like wrap up the show. So, all right, everybody, just tell me a little bit about like what you're listening to, what's inspiring you, and what you're working on, and what's next.
Currently, I'm not listening to anything other than the Genius Party members. What they have.
Hey.
Shout out to New Disco. Still moving and
You know what
like
it is?
Paul Willie's saying. Yeah, and, I'm still rocking Familiar Faith,
Purple Clouds.
Purple Clouds,
Yeah.
Yeah, go get that on Bandcamp.
for sure.
Immediate.
Yeah, and, I'm at every event street guys.
Mhm.
I'm
It's the
supporting the guys.
Big, man, you can catch me with the team, bro. All things Genius Party, that's what I'm on. Out here DJing, man. Trying to cook up some new beats, man. Trying to work with some, artists in the city, man, coming up 2026, man. So y'all stay on the lookout for that, man. And man, I might do some rap stuff, man. Shout out my nigga Eternal, bro. He keep asking me, like, bro, like, please, like, can I get a verse or something, man? Because we all came up like rapping together, man. So like,
Do it.
I might come out of retirement one of these days, man. Y'all gonna
Do
see.
it.
We encourage it.
I highly encourage it. You and my guy C Minor. That's how I initially
Who was
met
That's
that?
crazy.
Who was that?
Just ampersand. Call you damn government name out here. C Minor.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's what I know
Hold
it
on,
as.
what's the C stand for? Go ahead.
Don't do that. Nah.
My name is. Nah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
That's your name.
Redacted.
That's what your mother named you. I'm gonna call you.
Redacted.
I'm gonna call you Cassius. I'm gonna call you Cassius.
Call Cassius.
That's crazy.
That's what your mom called you. You cut your mama out. But I forgot what to say. What do you?
What you working on, bro?
Yeah, I'm working on freaking the Audacity, because Audacity is at an all-time high in the world.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was needed for a beat tape to come out with that name. Working on that. I got my daughter working on beats with me, so she my little executive producer.
Shout outs to me, Boo.
Me with Boo on deck. My cousin is helping me with some skit, some interludes for the Audacity. So I'm trying to add some comedy, all layers to it, trying to be just out of the world with it, just something different for everybody to enjoy. So that's what I'm working on.
Hey, bro, I was about to say, if you want Rolling Spirits the Fourth to pull up,
Of
you know
course.
what I'm saying?
I
I
just
can
need-
call him.
You can act like you calling me on the voicemail, you feel me, and send me some stuff. If
Nah,
I
for
wanna
sure.
do that.
Who the first three?
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, the fourth on to that.
Yeah,
joint,
who's
bro.
the first three?
Either.
Rolling,
Three,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, so it was like Pappy, Grandpappy, Great Grandpappy.
Oh, the
Rolling
wig
Spirits,
change.
you know what I'm saying?
of the wig.
Yeah. It's the fourth, the sting wash down here,
But and as far as what I'm listening to, I always try to have a wide variety of sounds that I'm exposing myself to, because I try to have a global sound. But lately, one of my favorite producers, goes by the name of Harrison, put out a song called "You Hate Jazz." It's dope though. Like I love the work he's doing. I'm pulling up my Spotify now. I know you hate Spotify, Millie, but that's how I'm seeing what I've been listening, what I've been adding to like my list recently. Patchy Man. If you're really into like the reggae feel with like a modern twist to it, shout out to Patchy Man. I think he's on tour right now with Mind Design. They came to Durham, great show. And then I'm also still listening to a lot of Nigerian high life records from the 70s. Just because it's such a upbeat and such an enriching like feeling. Like there's no way you can not listen to a Nigerian high life record and not feel good by the end of the song. So that's what I'm listening to. And as far as what I'm working on now, I'm working on a gospel tape that may be probably dropping first quarter of next year. I'll just continue to push the envelope of creativity and capacity for myself. And yeah, I'll also will be creating some sounds for some short films that hopefully I'll get an opportunity to expand on that this upcoming year. Getting a little bit more into the sound design bag and the sync licensing bag. So yeah. What's that?
Let the samples with you do sound design.
So this is more like Foley art and things like that. So
I'm about to say,
yeah.
I was about to say,
I'm gonna take your shit.
what's the line? I was about to say, he go bootleg your shit.
I can reverse it and everything.
Yeah, have at it.
Yeah, nah, that's what's like because the sync licensing game. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I definitely want to jump into that too. But right now I'm kind of like getting into like my world music bag, like Americans wise. Like I'm listening to Dear Silent. Like I'm enjoying like his stuff. Like my girl is kind of put me on the new music. Like I'm checking out Samara Joy. She's a dope jazz singer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like if you ever get to see her live, she always be coming to Raleigh. Please do that. So I'm listening to like Japanese jazz, R&B, Brazilian jazz. I'm trying to get into more Afro beats, Nigerian, piano type stuff. And I want to start working on like drum and bass, jungle beats type stuff.
Look, man, I got you with the whole list.
Hey, no, I got to pull up on you.
You remember how big that playlist was?
I look, listen, he might bootleg your stuff. I'll pull up on you, bro. Like, but no, I'm working on a project with a dope MC in the area by the name of Barzo. Project's pretty much done, so we knocking that out. Millie and I are also in tandem working on Desana Hanu's niece's album. Her name is Fashion. Check her out. She's dope. She sings extremely well. She also be rapping too. You know what I'm saying? Like, be on the lookout for that when we put that out. Also, I have the Midnight Storm Volume 1 on Bandcamp now. Shout outs to Bandcamp. That's just like my beat tape or like a remix tape I have, and then the instrumental version of that. So, you get 2 for 1. But you're going to pay for it. But that's it as far as I'm concerned. I'm just trying to get out to more places and play and, spread the gospel of the Genius Party, man, because it's needed out here. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's our time. You're now rocking with Ampersand and
Alt Willis, show you right.
Millie Vaughn.
Strizzy. Ace this as well.
And you have now just experienced the Genius Party. All right, y'all take it easy. But actually, you know what? We're gonna do this right. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Love on yourself. Stay true to yourself. All right, y'all take it easy. Yes. More fire. More fire. All right, y'all keep shining, geniuses.
Look,
Peace.
it's the Genius Party.